The Max and Jackie Gibson Award is a wonderful way to acknowledge significant contributions in life, in philanthropy, and in sharing of time and talent. Mike and Amy Alley, just by virtue of the work they've done in their careers since they graduated, could have been already outstanding Sycamore alumni. But the way that they've conducted their connections to the university and their philanthropic support beyond that in so many areas has just been exemplary for this institution. They're exactly the type of couple that we designed this kind of acknowledgement for, because they've really done so many good things in their careers and lives, and I guarantee you they will continue to do so.
This award honors people who see the significance of what athletics can bring to a university and to a community. To be able to give it to Mike and Amy was just unbelievable. They deserve it so much, and the fact that it's named after Max and Jackie Gibson just adds on to it, because they know the depth that they've given and the love they have for athletics. So it meant an awful lot to them, and it meant a lot to me.
Well, when we first found out we were going to be the recipients of the Max and Jackie Gibson Award, I mean, we were totally flabbergasted, but we were very humbled and honored.
Yeah, I would say stunned, and then I became teary-eyed, so it really means a lot.
Mike has certainly set an example for me and been one of the guys I've admired. The whole family's thrilled about this award being named after my parents, and the fact that I've known Mike so long and known Amy so long just makes it special.
I've actually known Amy for nearly 50 years. We met at ISU when we were in Chi Omega together. Actually, we were very excited to get Amy into Chi Omega, all her leadership skills and being homecoming queen to Continentals at North made her someone we really wanted to get.
You always know Amy is there supporting ISU, not because she makes speeches or is given lavish awards, but because, simply put, she is Amy. Generous, sweet, unassuming, beautiful Amy.
What about Mike?
I thought this was just about her.
Oh, well, no, I think you need to say something nice about Mike.
I'm not prepared for that, but I think Mike's best accomplishment and the best thing he ever did was somehow or another figure out how to get Amy Beasley to marry him.
We were all happy about that, for sure.
We did meet at ISU. We were both very active in student activities, and Linda Eldred, who was the head of student activities, introduced us.
I remember one day I was in the student activities, the union board office, and Linda said, well, we're going to have a new union board member. His name is Mike Alley, and I think you two would be good together. And I remember thinking, I always believed what she said, but I thought that was probably a long shot, but it worked out, and we're grateful to it.
Enjoyed 4 great years and some great basketball during that period of time, but also some great gymnastics and track and field, you name it. We've been able to witness the impact that athletic program has on the young men and women that are active in our athletics here at Indiana State University, and we've seen that firsthand.
A few years ago, our nephew had the honor to play football here at Indiana State.
My son Wyatt and I live in the mountains of Colorado, and Amy and Mike have always been a special part of his life, and their daughter Amanda is like a big sister to Wyatt. And so when it was time for Wyatt to think about colleges, I, like most parents I think, are hoping for somewhere in Colorado, somewhere he'll be close, but he wanted to go to Indiana State University. He wanted to be an ISU Sycamore. As Amy was driving me back to the Indianapolis airport, she said to me, Betty, I promise you that Mike and I will take really good care of Wyatt while he's at Indiana State. And let me tell you, they sure did.
Mike and Amy are two most hardworking people in the world, and they both have a very high standard of excellence of themselves and of anything they're involved with.
My press conference here, my very first day, I had a lot of anxiety, and I didn't know who anybody was. I remember Sherrard taking me to meet this guy, and you could just tell by his personality, like how sincere he was, how excited he was. And I remember walking away with Sherrard, and he's like, that's as important a person as you're gonna meet today. Just that minute with him, not knowing who he was, made me feel better about my decisions. I could feel his passion and how excited he was.
And I always use the term, you want to be around people you can lose with, because that's when you really find out how sincere they are. And through the tough times, they're always there, and through the good times, they're obviously there as well. I lost my father a few years back, and really saw him in a different light. He would call, he would check on me, came to the funeral. Just meant a lot to me. Mike and Amy, Allie are really sincere and genuine people.
When I think of the Alleys, I think of two individuals that are really selfless, two individuals that brought me into their own home and treated me as their own. And just their donations to the university and allowing us to get the practice field and being big contributors to that was really big characteristics of just showing who they are.
They're giving, not just to men's basketball, but across the board. That drives giving for the people. They see Mike and Amy doing it. It's contagious. It brings other people on. We're sitting here in the Holman Center and think about the renovations here. We now play in arguably the nicest facility in a conference that's known for its basketball facilities.
They've made some big gifts, and how much they love athletics definitely inspires me to be a part of all that. They've just been so consistent and being very humble about what they do.
Mike Ellie doesn't make it about him. Mike is that kind of a leader. He's a great leader.
Mike served on the Board of Trustees for several years and has been very committed to fundraising and giving to the university.
Stories about Mike, I've got a couple. One, he shows up at ISU golf outings, dressed well, but he wears his black loafers rather than his golf shoes. And that's, quite frankly, when you're in the cart with him, that's kind of embarrassing.
Mike had donated a golf outing to Highland Country Club in Indianapolis, and Mike was playing extremely well. I mean, knocking the ball straight down the middle, and one of the guys in the group says, he started calling Mike Power Alley. And so Mike just kind of grinned, but the next hole, he's knocking it right down the middle, Power Alley. So now, when we see Mike, we always go up to him and say, Power Alley, how you doing? I really was very honored when somebody asked me to speak today because he's a mentor to me, and it just made me proud. It really did that that university sees what they have in alumni like Mike and Amy and chose them because, to me, this is a very, very prestigious award.
I can't think of another couple who I believe put their money where their mouth is more than that couple.
The ideal sycamores, in the sense that they truly epitomize what ISU can do for your life. And they do it in a joyful way. They're always upbeat.
We always know they're going to be there to support ISU because they always have been. They truly bleed blue.
I learned early on, as Larry and I got more involved with Indiana State and the foundation, that Mike and Amy had been giving whenever asked. Eventually, I think, somebody asked them, because they'd been helping Indiana State and everyone so much, it's like, what would be special to you? And that's when they brought up Linda Eldred, who introduced them, and they established the Linda Eldred Student Leadership Center in her honor. That was a wonderful thing to witness, and it meant a lot to Amy and Mike, and an awful lot to Linda.
I remember their sharing at that event, and frankly, for me in the role I'm in, I often get to see this, but it's evident with Mike and Amy, the joy on their faces when they're able to say, this person made a difference for me, and now we're lifting them up.
This was a quote from Mike that I read. ISU gave me the education to pursue my interests, but also to be a lifelong learner. When he said that, the interviewer, Casey Long, said in her article, Allie invested in his career and is now investing in the future of young professionals because he will always be a sycamore and because real leaders wear blue.